All right. Well, thank
Hi.
you for coming, Gabrielle. I have a few questions to ask. Tell us what Builders Fence Company is and what do you do?
We are wholesale distributors and manufacturers of fencing materials, and we have 5 locations, and we service the West Coast.
How many years have you guys been around?
We've been incorporated for 65 years.
Oh my
Uh, my,
goodness.
my grandfather started in the fence industry during the Depression.
Nice. Will you guys be at the Fence Show in September in Las Vegas?
Oh, we will.
I'm excited. What can we expect to see at your booth?
A lot of things. We are just finishing some decisions right now, like today. So if anyone wants to write in some suggestions, they'd be appreciated. But we're going to have a new booth.
Do you have anything exciting that you're bringing to the Fence Show?
Um, we're we're going to have these light box things and pillars. Um, I'm not an expert with the nomenclature, but it is very exciting.
That's awesome. Are you guys doing any education sessions at the Fence Show?
I understand that I might be,
Ooh.
but Brian said something about that. I think it's still being firmed up.
Gotcha. All right. Well, thank you for coming on. Is there anything else you would like to add before I bring on the other ladies?
Go ahead, bring them on.
Hello, everyone. How is everyone? It's great to see you guys. How are you guys?
Hello, hello, hello.
Hello. Hi, Heather. Are you there?
I am here. I'll be in full force in about 5 minutes.
Okay, good. How's everyone doing? I am Yadira with Las Vegas Fence Company here in Las Vegas. We are the women of FWA. This is Michaela Patterson and Andrea Patterson. I'm sure you guys have heard of them from High Point Companies. And we have Heather today with Mr. Fence. And we have Gabrielle Frankel. Is that how you pronounce your name?
Yes.
Yay. Okay. So you are with Builders Fence Company out in mostly the West Coast, right?
Mm-hmm.
Good. So today, ladies, we are going to be talking about women in a family-run business, in a family fence business, more specifically. Andrea, do you want to start off with what kind of questions do we have for today for this great group of ladies?
Gabrielle, how many family members do you have working within your organization?
Well, we have my brother, myself, my sister, and my father.
And what are their roles?
My father is president and owner of the company, although he's semi-retired, I would say, and he's spending a lot of time in Jackson Hole, Wyoming.
Enjoying the cooler weather, right?
Very much so, and watching moose walk past his front yard. And my brother is general manager, and my sister works in the Sacramento branch, and I'm the CEO currently.
Very cool. Cool.
That is awesome.
Have you guys been doing it for a long time? Have you been in the business from a young age, or have you gone off and done other things?
Well, I would say I have gone off and done other things. Um, I went to law school in Chicago at Northwestern, and I dabbled in that for a little while, but I didn't love it, and I told my parents I want to come back and work in the business.
Mm-hmm.
But I've always been involved in the business of filing invoices, stuffing envelopes,
Yeah.
Inventory, showing up for inventory. Um, and I grew up with my parents talking about it incessantly.
Yeah, of course. It's impossible not to. I mean, it feels like sometimes it's your whole, I mean, it is your whole life. It's your livelihood, right? So it even weekends for us too. What about you guys, Andrea and Michaela? How many people do you guys have? How many family members do you guys have in your organization?
We have 6.
I was gonna say we have 6. Yeah.
Really? Wow.
So everyone from office to bookkeeping to parts and delivery to social media to the guys, running the company. So we're spread out. We're all over the place.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for us, we actually, I have my daughter who does all of the social media and the ads and all that creative stuff. Like I said, the Fence magazine and all that cool stuff. I think we might have lost Gabrielle, but we also have my sister or half sister who is about 15 years younger than I am, and she has kind of taken over the role of general manager in the organization. As young as she is, she has those qualities that you need in a general manager to take over. So we're kind of grooming her to take over everything because I can tell that she's real. I'm really proud of her. How about you, Heather?
It's going to be really loud, but I'm going to be outside in about 2 minutes. I think we have about 6 people, family, that work for us. I would make 7 if you count me. So it's a lot of family. And sometimes that can be good and sometimes that can be bad.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Are we getting into that today? The struggles?
Yes, we are.
Yes, we are.
That should be a hot topic. That could probably take a whole hour by itself. Yeah. So 6 for me. So I'm just going to start with that answer for now until we get to the nitty gritty.
Well, you can lead us into our next question, right, Andrea?
That was my next question. What are some of the struggle, what are your work struggles?
So, am I going? Sorry, you cut out.
Go for it.
Go, Heather.
Okay. Work struggles. Work struggles are fun when it comes to family because I hate to say it, and this sounds sad, but sometimes whenever you have people who aren't related to you, you feel like the related people get more benefits. And so that creates a animosity amongst everybody. So it causes problems there. And then sometimes you have issues with family members, not going the extra mile is not the right wording I'm trying to use. You have family members who will sometimes push the limit, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe they take an hour and a half for lunch, or maybe
It's hard to treat them the same as the rest of the employees, for sure.
yeah, definitely.
As much as you don't want to have that preferential, status as a family member, you kind of do because you are family, and we run into it the same.
So I don't know how you guys feel about this. So a little bit of it is different for me, right? Because Mr. Fence, obviously Sean owns the business, and I married him, so that's how I came into the business, right? And I know that it's hard because I come from a corporate world, and I've had this conversation with lots of other fence wives out there in the industry, but I come from a very black and white world, like where there's rules, and if you're late, you're late. And I don't do favors for anybody. So that's been hard for me to adapt because, I know this just happened to me maybe 6 months ago. I'm like, I don't care if you're family. Rules are rules,
Yeah.
So it's a little hard for me. But lucky for me, Sean and I, we don't carry that home with us, because I'm like, we work at work, right?
Right. What about you guys, Michaela and Andrea? What are some of your struggles with family members, like Heather was saying?
I mean, I don't know. It's so hard. I think when we did have family members So my brother and sister were working there for a period of time, and then Andrea's brother was working there for a period of time, or
I
the
had
two of
two
them.
brothers working. Sometimes they were at the same time. Sometimes it was like one
Yeah.
working this time, another one was working this time. So they never like commingled together at work, but it was very like, I think, in my opinion, having my brothers work for my husband and his brother, it was more tricky because like they're my brothers and I want them to be treated like an employee, but at the same time, I don't want them to think that they get special treatment just because their sister is
Yeah.
married to the boss, basically.
Right,
And probably
exactly.
same for Michaela and her family.
Yeah, no, I was going to say it was the same. I think all of them did good in not taking advantage of the situation, I think. So I think we're really grateful in that aspect because they did treat it like a job, not like, oh, I'm related to so-and-so, so I can just come into work and get paid and then
That's
not do
good.
anything.
And do
Yeah.
whatever I want,
So
basically.
I think, yeah, we were really grateful in that situation. Yeah.
How about you, Gabrielle?
Well, one issue is with family, the only thing we ever talk about is business. We can never take a vacation together because
Yes.
one of us has to be on. And,
Absolutely.
but
My
I'm
sister.
I'm learning about family governance and having a family meeting once or twice a year,
Yeah.
to get ready for Generation 4 and Generation 5 to make sure
Yeah.
the cousins know each other, and develop good working relationships with each other. But
Yeah.
one great thing is we can tell each other anything. I mean, we just let it rip, and it really helps in terms of management to, I mean, we'll we'll argue with each other, but it's all good natured. We might argue like crazy, but then when we're done, we're still brother and sister or daughter and father, and it works out that way. And another
Yeah.
thing, if we don't we don't get treated better than the employees, and if you're not pulling your weight, you're out. That's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Absolutely. I think that's very important. And like you mentioned, in our case, the same thing. We are a small organization, and when it just seems like we could never take a vacation together because somebody always has to be here, and unless we close the entire company down for us all to like take off, that's, I think the very first time we did it was last December. I think we shut down that week between Christmas and New Year's to have all of us spend together, because it just seems like, if I'm taking the week off or something, like my sister can't take the week off because she has to be here, or my daughter, or her boyfriend who also works with us. At one point I also had my brother. So I totally get it really appeals to me not being able to take the time off, or a vacation together as a family.
So, Gabrielle, I'm glad you pointed that out, and I'm so appreciative for that because I agree. I feel like even like when we go to Christmas get-togethers and Easter, I feel like sometimes like the discussions just tend to be work-related.
Oh my God, every single day.
See, my daughter's over here agreeing. She works for Mr. Fence too, and she's over here agreeing. Like she's like, yeah, that's all we do is talk about Fence. Like, it's.
Where am I supposed to park, bruh? They don't make these spots big enough.
What else do we have, Andrea?
This doesn't necessarily apply for me and Michaela necessarily because we are the older people in the company. But like, are there old school versus new school struggles that you guys have in your businesses? Like, are with younger employees coming in with newer ideas, and then, the more experienced workers that you have there, are they stuck kind of in their own old ways of doing things? If that makes sense.
Sure, we'll let Gabrielle answer. I think you guys, Builders has actually been around, like you said, been around a long time. Do you find any of those struggles with,
Well, a lot of we have really long-term employees. Like some of them have been with us upwards of 40 years.
wow,
And they have such tremendous knowledge. So you can never replace that. And who would want to? Um, and I mean, but we're still transforming the company. And that's one thing we can't lose sight of. So it's up to management decisions, good management decisions to be made to continue transforming and growing the business,
right.
hiring well, hiring people that are harmonious with other people,
Yeah,
that know how to deal with people, um, and respectfully, have accountability, are trustworthy, are have humility, um, integrity. Those
yeah,
kinds of values are universal.
yeah, definitely. Do you find as like, with older generations, they might be like against trying new software programs
Well,
or
we're implementing a new ERP right now,
uh-huh.
um, and and we're not having any trouble. So not yet.
That's good. That's really, really good because for us, I mean, we kind of do a lot of things very old school. And we still do a lot of our forms on Excel, and rather than like trying different software programs and stuff. But I think we're at the point where we do need to start like looking out for new software programs that are going to make our lives easier, even though it's going to be hard for us to sit down, take the time to learn them. And I think that's part of Brian's struggle, is actually getting him to sit down and taking the time to learn it.
Well, a good ERP should be user friendly.
Yeah,
Um, and then the benefits uh, to helping employees take ownership of their work become obvious to
yeah,
them. They can see the improvement,
sure.
and then the proof is in the pudding, and everybody is happy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
What else do we have, Andrea?
Do you have like a succession plan for your younger family members that are stepping up and going to be taking on more manager cannot talk. Like bigger roles within the company, or like to prepare them to take over for like leadership roles.
Are you asking me?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, my kids are 16, 10, and 6. And we have some ideas about family governance. My niece, she's 13 years old, and my nephew, I think, is 21. So they're too young, really,
Yeah,
to get started. But I'm going to start bringing my daughters, my son is 6, but my daughters, to the family business, especially the transformational women in family businesses events put on by Family Business Magazine. They really incorporate the family and do a great job of that, and they make it seem less weird to kids. I
mm-hmm.
remember thinking we were the only people in the world that have had a family business, and it was just so weird. And I didn't think it was cool at all. But when you go to an event and there's all these kids there, and they're excited, and their parents are excited, it does something different.
Yeah,
So I think these kinds of group events are really going to change them. And then also the family meetings, I think they're going to be at fun places, and everybody's going to have an enjoyable outlook. I just I remember being a kid, and all my parents did was talk about the business. And it just seemed so bizarre to me. Um, but it's not. It's what made this country great in the first place, you
Yeah.
know? And we're all of us are on the front lines of that. And
Yeah.
it's an amazing thing that we should all be so proud of.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we also, my daughter, I mean, we've been around for, I don't know, business owners, I guess you could say, for about 12, 15 years now. So my daughter, when she was probably about 8 or 9, she just has always been around offices and business people, and I think when she reached like high school age and high school was done and stuff, she kind of, when she was younger, she really wanted to be ingrained into the company and like go around sales calls and stuff. And now she went through a phase where she wanted like nothing to do with the fence company. She went off on her own, and now she's kind of same thing. She's kind of realized that, hey, this isn't too bad, having your parents own a fence company or having a family business isn't too bad. Like, you get treated pretty good, in my opinion. So she came back and she says, I want to work with you guys, and can you guys incorporate me into something? So we put her in like different positions to see what she excelled in. And I think we have finally found an area where she excels and she's really good at and she enjoys it. So it took us a good 1.5 2 years until we found that position, that place with her. But I'm really happy because I do see the difference in her demeanor and her the way she carries herself and how happy she is doing what
How
she's
old
doing.
is she?
She is 22.
Wow.
Yeah. So, but I think she's going to be leaving us to go to college full time now in the fall. So, good for her.
Yeah. That's
I love
awesome.
that.
Yeah. What about you guys? I know you guys have very little, Andrea and Michaela.
Yeah, so I think my daughter is the oldest. She's 5, and then we have a 4, a 2, and a 1. So 2 and 2 each of us.
They're very little.
Yeah, still pretty little, but I think it's good that they grow up seeing how hard everybody works. I think that is something that this kind of upcoming generation doesn't really have, in a sense, is like that strive to work hard and want to work and earn what you have. So I just hope that we kind of teach them that it is okay to work and, bust your butt here and there. And you can also have your free time off. We have our core values in the office, the honesty, integrity, and accountability. And so I think those are really important to live by, and that our kids just see, these amazing women and men working in the company that live by these core values. So yeah, I think it's awesome to bring them up in just this type of job.
Yeah, definitely.
100%. And then last little question for everyone. I'm going to gear this to Gabrielle first. How do you balance your working for the business and your family as a woman in this business, in this industry?
I'm going all of the time. I do have a babysitter that I use a lot, and their dad works here at the company. He's the Sun Valley manager, so we really cooperate very well because of that. So that's incredibly helpful. But I do a lot of work outside of the business too, other than taking care of my kids and spending time with them. I'm in a program to feed the hungry, and I counsel young women. And so I've realized that anything that I put my heart in, I have enough energy to do. And but I'm always thinking about the business.
It's impossible not to.
Yeah.
Right.
I have periods where I'm like, okay, I'm going to really focus on exercising and eating healthy and getting off work at a normal time to go home and like do something else. And then I don't know, it happens for like a good week, 2 weeks, and then work just kind of consumes you again. So it's okay to just restart over and over and over again, however many times you have to restart. And I mean, that happens with me. I don't know about you guys.
What about you, Michaela?
Yeah, I'm always restarting. I feel like my daughter will be like, let's exercise. And I'm like, we have so much to do. I can't do this right now. But yeah, no, I agree. You're always restarting. I think as a mother and a wife, it's important to, we are almost the backbone, like emotionally, of everybody, right? That comes home, goes to work. Dalton brings the work, my husband, for everyone who doesn't know him, brings work home with him all the time. It doesn't stop ever. And so I think it's good that we kind of both understand like his role in the company, his role at home. And we have come to, where, okay, at this time, I understand work is busy, but like phone has to go off. We have to have this family time. And I think just as a woman in this business, that is kind of my role, especially amongst my family.
Yeah.
Andrea?
Yeah, Dalton and Cole probably have it like equally busy. I'm sure when Cole gets off the phone, Dalton's on the phone again, and then they just like back and forth with Lauren.
It's always, yeah.
So no, I'm the same. We have a certain time that like I like to try to have him put his phone away or at like the bare minimum, because like your kids want to see you. They want to spend time with you. They want to play with you. And I get that, work is 24/7, but your kids want your attention too. So we have the boundary of at a certain time, we try to limit it as possible. Obviously that's pending, certain bids that we have to get sent, and there's a lot of questions and whatnot. They try to get answered as quickly as possible. But we do have that boundary of from this time to this time, no business talk, no nothing. You can answer it tomorrow morning.
And he's
early
okay
if
with
you have to. Yeah.
Wow, good for you.
He does his best to abide by that, because he understands that it's a lot on me when he comes home and his attention is still work. He's either texting his brother, texting employees, on the phone with his brother or employees, or on the phone with our office, just trying to figure out their schedule. They have a bid due in 2 days. Do you have like final numbers that you want to submit? Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it is hard work, but it is very rewarding. I think we're very fortunate to work in a family company. Like Heather, I was in corporate for 8-9 years before I kind of switched over to not being corporate, and it's like night and day difference. Family run businesses treat you like you are a human and you have things that come up, whereas corporate world was just kind of like, oh, your car broke down, like that sucks. I hope you get to work, or else you're getting rid up, and
you get it late on your card. You get
yes,
are you gonna make it in or not? That's all we really need to know.
Right. Yeah. So I think with family-run businesses, we're just very fortunate to have such a good, strong foundation in business.
Yeah.
And I think
so too. I think the rewards are definitely more than the negatives, for sure.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think like outside, like our employees, are 100% like grateful for the things that Dalton and Cole do to accommodate certain things, like cars being broken down or whatever, or I have to make this appointment. Can I come in late? They're like, yeah, just meet us at this place for this job, whatever. Like they are 100% appreciative of the lengths that they go to keep their employees, but also like realize that these employees have things that they have to do. Like some of them have kids.
We all do. Yep.
So
we all
they
have
to be able to communicate those needs and whatnot.
Yeah.
Yeah. If an employee needs flexibility, either they or their manager tells us, and then my brother or myself make the call And,
Yeah.
you know, we're very flexible. Like, we understand a 10-year-old can't be home alone all day, or,
Yes.
you know, yeah, your childcare fell through or whatever. But we make the decision on the spot and then it's done. And I'm so grateful for that, that we get to treat people like
Mhm.
people.
Yeah. Definitely very rewarding to be able to do that for our small staff that we do have. It's very rewarding when one of them needs something, you're able to give it 100 times comes back to you, I believe.
Mhm.
What else do we have, Andrea?
Those are all my burning questions. Anyone else have burning questions to ask?
I don't think so. I think I don't know if we discussed the family values part of the business that Gabrielle wanted to bring up.
Mm.
Well, I think we talked about it a little bit in that in transforming the company, how they affect things. But I think it's and another I think it was Heather brought up that her family's values are their corporate values, and that's what I found. It's like a very natural thing. When I think about what was important to my parents, what they absolutely demanded of me, or there would be, you know, disapproval, it's integrity, honesty, trust, accountability, but they also demanded humility. You know,
Yeah.
you couldn't be arrogant or a know-it-all. Like, that would
No.
not fly. And you better have courage. You know,
Yes.
you are
You
not
better have
allowed.
courage. That is absolutely 100% right. You better have courage because we're going to throw you out there and you're going to have to figure it out.
And it just wouldn't be tolerated. You know,
Yeah.
it just wouldn't be tolerated. And then leadership that creates teamwork, that supports teamwork. You know, they don't like a kid walking in and um, being a leader that works against teamwork. Like, that is
No.
roundly frowned upon. And so when I go around, I'm always thinking, like, I can't embarrass my dad and my brother and my sister. I can't embarrass my grandkids, you know.
Yeah.
I don't have grandkids yet, but um, like, I can't embarrass my family that way. We have a legacy. Uh,
Absolutely.
and even if I might want to say something out of hand, I can't say it. Um, you
You're
know,
held to a higher standard, in my opinion, when you're family. You're definitely held to a higher standard in the organization, with your coworkers, with your team. It's just when you're family, you have to have that standard, in my opinion, and it's just higher.
and when in doubt, be quiet.
Yes. You're absolutely right. Well, I think we touched on everything, Andrea, don't you think?
We did.
Well, that's awesome.
What
Thank
a
you
pleasure.
guys. Thank you guys so much for coming on. Gabrielle, thank you for taking the time and
What an
discussing.
honor. Thank you so much for asking me.
You are very welcome, and maybe we'll have you on another subject, on another live at another time. You're always welcome. And Andrea and Michaela and Heather, thank you guys for coming on. We'll see you guys next time. And
Thank
don't
you.
forget to register for the fence show.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.